Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great week so far. So, today we're going to embark on another exhilarating journey into the world of comic book creation. So, last week we learned about comic books, we read some comics, and we just started getting some ideas for stories together and planting the seeds. This week, we're going to start drawing. So, you're going to pick one of your stories, and we'll focus on the art of drawing your main characters, villains, and sidekicks. And then we'll dive into the process of outlining your comic. But remember, it's not about perfection, it's about putting forth your best effort. So let's begin with the heart of your comic. The characters. Your main characters are the lifeblood of your story. They steer the narrative, and it's important to depict them thoughtfully. While sketching your main characters, pay attention to the intricate details that reveal their personality. To bring them to life, make sure you use at least 3 colors when you're coloring them. Now, the villain. The villain's going to add some spice to your story. They introduce conflict and excitement to make your comic memorable. Craft a villain who is unique and intriguing. What are some traits that he has that make him look like a villain or her? And you're going to use your artistic skill and a minimum of 3 colors again to ensure your villain stands out. Next, we have the sidekick or the friend. Sidekick and friends play a crucial role in supporting the main characters. To create a memorable sidekick or friend, emphasize their distinctive traits. How do they look different from your hero? How do they look different from the villain? Can you tell that they're a good guy? These are important traits to have in a comic. So you're going to, again, use at least 3 colors to employ some artistic creativity into your character. So creating compelling characters involves mastering some fundamental principles. Pay attention to proportions and body language. Strive for balanced, expressive characters. We want to make sure their faces are really strong and expressive, so you can draw them really happy, really sad, really angry, and really surprised to add depth to your characters. Experiment with some poses that make your comic visually engaging. Most of the time, comic book heroes or villains are not just standing facing straight ahead, but they're often in an action pose. So be creative and find some resources online that might help you to draw that better. Okay, now let's turn our attention to outlining your comic. You can refer to the comic book story outline that we have in your assignments as a guide, but begin by crafting an eye-catching title that provides a glimpse of your story's essence. Normally, comic books are about the hero. So if you want to name the comic after your hero, and then you can use a subtitle to talk about the adventure. In your introduction, set the stage by describing the setting, time, and introducing the main characters. Outline the plot and conflicts that will drive your story. Delve into the key characters, providing insights into your main characters, sidekick, and villain. You're going to make sure that you describe important locations in your comic and explain their significance. So if your comic book character takes place in a high school, make sure you really fully realize the world. If it's somewhere outdoors, you want to make sure that the background looks just as beautiful as your comics itself. Think about the visual elements, exciting scenes, and important visuals you want to include. Plan the pacing and layout to ensure that you're going to give your reader an engaging experience. And your reader is me, and I can't wait to read them. So now consider the dialogue, narration, and any captions or thoughts your characters may express. Remember, comic books are all about dialogue, and everything is driven through action, and it's also about inner thoughts. So whatever you decide your story is, you need to be able to tell it through dialogue and making sure that you are leaving space in your comic for thought bubbles. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. That is something we're going to do next week. Also, I apologize because my dog always decides it's dinner time the second I start filming, and then he is chewing very loudly. So if you can hear him chewing, I apologize. So creating your comic book characters and outlining your comic is an exhilarating step towards creating your final project, which is what we were going to work on next week. Remember, it's not about perfect drawings, but it's about expressing your creativity and giving it your all. I can tell when a comic drawing is drawn from someone who maybe not be super comfortable with art. I'm not a visual artist by any means. I am very much a musician, but that doesn't mean that I can't take my time and draw a beautiful drawing. So really take your time, make it beautiful. Don't rush through. Don't make this a sloppy assignment. You're going to be graded on your neatness and your ability to work hard. I will kick the assignments back to you if they're not really up to the standard that I know that you can create. Your 3 comics are going to be 3 assignment grades rolled into one. So instead of having 3 separate assignments that are worth 20 points each, they're going to be one assignment that's 60 points, but 20 points are for each of the characters. You also want to make sure that you include a description in yours. So I hope you have a lot of fun. We're going to unleash our inner artists and we're going to set out to create incredible comics. How many English classes can you say give you the chance to do this? So I hope you're excited. I'm so excited to read them. You know how to reach out to me either Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Zoom. Just let me know if you're going to come. And also, you can just message me through Canvas inbox. And I look so forward to hearing from you and to reading your comic books over the next couple of weeks.